Imagine waking up one day and realizing that everything you thought you knew about the world was only half the story. Imagine discovering a truth so powerful, so undeniable, that it changes the way you see life itself. This is exactly what's happening right now in Russia. Thousands of people, educated, strong-willed, deeply thoughtful individuals are making a choice. A choice that is shaking the very foundations of history. They are embracing Islam. But why? Why are so many Russians turning towards a faith that has been misrepresented, misunderstood, and even feared for so long? What is it about Islam that is drawing them in, despite the stereotypes, despite the resistance, despite the global narrative that tries to paint a different picture? And most importantly, what does this mean for the future, not just of Russia, but of the entire world? Stay with me, because what you're about to hear is not just another news headline. This is a reality unfolding right before our eyes. A movement, a transformation, a shift in power and perception. And by the time we're done, you'll see why this is something the world cannot ignore. Let's begin. The rise in Islamic conversions in Russia has been nothing short of extraordinary in recent years. What was once a country dominated by Orthodox Christianity is now witnessing a surge in people embracing Islam. The reasons behind this trend are both profound and complex. For many, the appeal of Islam lies in its simplicity, clarity, and unwavering moral foundation. In a world filled with uncertainty, Islam provides structure, discipline, and a strong sense of community, something that many Russians have been yearning for. One of the most striking aspects of this phenomenon is that the converts are not just from the general public, but also include intellectuals, academics, and even members of the Russian military. These are people who have deeply analyzed their faith, their identity, and the direction of their country. They see in Islam a way of life that aligns with values of discipline, respect, and strong family bonds, values that have been eroding in modern societies. The moral crisis in the West, with its increasing detachment from traditional religious values, has left many people searching for something more meaningful, and Islam has presented itself as an answer. The influence of Islam has been growing in Russia for years, with an increasing number of mosques being built and Islamic institutions playing a more significant role in society. The youth in particular are showing an interest in the religion, drawn by its unchanging principles and the sense of belonging that it offers. With Russia facing economic challenges, geopolitical shifts, and ideological conflicts with the West, people are naturally looking inward for stability. Islam, with its emphasis on patience, faith, and brotherhood, provides a foundation that many find appealing. There is also a growing recognition that Islam is not a foreign religion in Russia. For centuries, it has been a part of the country's identity, with historical Muslim majority regions such as Tatarstan, Bashkortostan, and Chechnya playing vital roles in Russian history. These regions have preserved Islamic traditions and teachings, and now, as Russia redefines its national identity, these influences are becoming more visible. Unlike in some Western nations, where Islam is often viewed with suspicion, Russia's leadership has adopted a more accepting approach, acknowledging the contributions of its Muslim population. In Moscow and other major cities, Islamic conversion centers have seen a steady increase in attendance, with people eager to learn about the faith and its teachings. Converts often speak about how reading the Quran changed their perspective, offering answers to questions they had struggled with for years. Many also admire the discipline of Muslims, particularly their commitment to prayer, fasting, and charity. This sense of purpose and direction is a stark contrast to the aimlessness that many feel in a rapidly changing world. Social media has played a crucial role in spreading awareness about Islam among Russians. Videos and testimonials of new converts are widely shared, and stories of how people found peace and clarity through Islam inspire others to explore the faith. The influence of prominent Muslim figures in Russia, whether in sports, politics, or business, also contributes to Islam's growing appeal. Their success and strong moral principles stand as a testament to the power of Islamic teachings in everyday life. There are also geopolitical factors at play. As Russia moves further away from Western ideologies and strengthens its ties with Muslim-majority nations, there is a shift in the perception of Islam. What was once seen as foreign is now viewed as an essential part of Russia's future. This transformation is not just happening in isolated pockets, but is part of a larger movement, one that could reshape Russia's religious and cultural landscape in the years to come. Russia's historical connection with Islam is deep-rooted, spanning centuries of cultural, political, and religious interactions. Unlike the perception that Islam is a foreign entity in Russia, it has been an integral part of the nation's history. With Muslim communities existing within its borders for over 1,000 years, the Volga Bulgars, one of the earliest groups to embrace Islam in the 10th century, established the faith as a significant presence in Russian territory long before the formation of the modern Russian state. Over time, the influence of Islam spread, particularly in regions such as Tatarstan, Chechnya, Dagestan, and other areas of the North Caucasus, where it remains deeply embedded in the social fabric. Throughout Russian history, Islam has played a vital role in shaping the identity of its people. During the era of the Russian Empire, Muslim communities coexisted alongside Orthodox Christians, contributing to trade, governance, and military affairs. The Tsarist rulers, despite their Christian dominion, recognized the importance of Islam in maintaining stability within the empire. Mosques were constructed, Islamic scholars were respected, and Muslims were granted a degree of religious autonomy. However, the relationship between Islam and the state was not always smooth. Periods of religious tolerance were often followed by attempts to suppress Islamic identity, especially during times of political upheaval. The Soviet era marked one of the most challenging periods for Islam in Russia. The communist government, with its strict secular policies, sought to eliminate religious influence, shutting down mosques, banning Islamic practices, and persecuting scholars who upheld Islamic teachings. Despite these efforts, Islam survived in underground circles, passed down through generations who remained committed to their faith. The resilience of Russian Muslims during these years is a testament to the strength of their belief and the deep-rooted nature of Islam within their cultural identity. With the collapse of the Soviet Union in 1991, religious freedom was restored, and Islam experienced a significant revival across Russia. Thousands of mosques were reopened, Islamic institutions were re-established, and Muslims were once again free to practice their faith openly. The post-Soviet period saw an increased interest in Islam, not just among traditional Muslim communities, but also among ethnic Russians, who began exploring the faith. Many were drawn to the discipline and structure that Islam provided, particularly in a society that was facing economic hardship and a moral vacuum following decades of atheistic rule. In recent years, the Russian government has taken a pragmatic approach toward Islam, recognizing its historical presence and its role in the country's future. Leaders have actively engaged with Muslim-majority regions, seeking to integrate their communities rather than alienate them. High-ranking officials frequently participate in Islamic events, and policies have been designed to accommodate the religious needs of Muslim citizens. This shift in attitude has led to a growing acceptance of Islam as a permanent and respected part of Russian society, rather than an external influence. The presence of Islam in Russia today is not just a remnant of the past, but a thriving and dynamic force that continues to shape the nation's identity. The resurgence of Islamic teachings, the increase in religious conversions, and the strengthening of ties with the global Muslim world all indicate that Islam's influence in Russia is set to grow even further. As more Russians turn to Islam, they are reconnecting with a history that has always been a part of their land, solidifying its place in the future of the nation. The increasing number of Russians converting to Islam is driven by a deep search for spiritual fulfillment and a sense of purpose in a rapidly changing world. Individuals in Russia, particularly those who have grown up in a secular or atheist environment, are seeking answers to life's fundamental questions about existence, morality, and the afterlife. The decline of traditional religious institutions and the loss of moral direction in modern society have led many to explore different faiths, and Islam has emerged as a compelling option for those searching for structure, discipline, and meaning in their lives. The emphasis on monotheism, personal responsibility, and a direct connection with God without intermediaries makes Islam particularly appealing to those looking for clarity in their spiritual journey. One of the key reasons why Russians are drawn to Islam is the sense of community and brotherhood it fosters. In a society that is often marked by individualism and materialism, the Islamic way of life provides a strong social support system where believers feel connected to a global ummah. This sense of belonging is especially important for individuals who may feel isolated or disconnected from the values of modern society. The emphasis on family, charity, and communal worship creates a framework in which individuals can find not only faith, but also genuine human connections. New converts often express a deep appreciation for the hospitality and warmth they experience within Muslim communities, where they are welcomed and guided with open arms. Another factor contributing to the rise of conversions is the exposure to Islamic teachings through various sources, including social media, books, and interfaith dialogues. With the internet providing access to a wealth of information, many Russians are discovering Islam through online lectures, Quran translations, and discussions with practicing Muslims. The beauty of the Quran, its scientific insights, and its consistency with logic and reason are often cited by new converts as major reasons for embracing the faith. Unlike many religious texts that have undergone multiple alterations, the Quran's preservation over 1,400 years stands as a testament to its authenticity, which resonates with those searching for a faith based on unchanging truth. The disciplined nature of Islam, particularly in its daily practices such as prayer, fasting, and abstinence from harmful substances, has also been a key factor in conversions. Many Russians who have struggled with issues such as alcohol addiction, depression, or lack of direction in life find that the structured lifestyle of Islam offers them the discipline and self-control they need to reform their lives. The concept of submission to God, where every action is performed with intention and accountability, provides a transformative experience that helps individuals develop inner peace and purpose. The growing interest in Islam among Russians has also been influenced by interfaith marriages and cultural exchanges. Many Russian women who marry Muslim men explore the religion and in doing so come to appreciate its teachings. Similarly, friendships and professional relationships with Muslim colleagues provide non-Muslims with first-hand exposure to the Islamic way of life, challenging stereotypes and dispelling misconceptions. As more Russians interact with practicing Muslims, they witness the values of honesty, humility, and compassion that Islam promotes, making it a faith that appeals to their moral and ethical sensibilities. Islam's clear stance on justice, equality, and the rights of the oppressed has also drawn many toward the faith. In a world filled with social injustices, the Quran's emphasis on fairness, charity, and accountability speaks to those who feel disillusioned by the corruption and moral decline they see around them. The idea that every person is equal in the sight of God, regardless of race or status, is a powerful message that resonates deeply, especially in a society where social divisions and inequalities are evident. As more Russians seek a faith that aligns with their values and aspirations, Islam continues to offer a compelling spiritual path that provides both personal growth and a sense of belonging. The role of Islamic teachings in shaping the moral and ethical framework of Russian converts is profound. Many people in Russia, especially those disillusioned by the moral decay in modern society, are drawn to Islam's clear and unchanging principles. The Quran provides a comprehensive guide for living a righteous life, addressing everything from personal conduct to social justice. It instills a sense of discipline, integrity, and accountability that many feel is lacking in contemporary secular ideologies. Converts often express that Islam gives them a renewed sense of purpose and clarity in a world filled with distractions, materialism, and moral ambiguity. By adhering to the fundamental teachings of Islam, honesty, humility, patience, and compassion, they find a structure that guides their daily lives and interactions with others. The concept of taqwa, or God consciousness, plays a crucial role in this journey. Islam encourages individuals to act rightly in every situation, even when no one is observing. One of the key elements of Islam that appeals to Russians converting to the faith is its strong emphasis on fairness and justice. The Quran continuously calls for the protection of those who are weak, the eradication of corruption, and the fair treatment of all people. Regardless of their social or economic standing, many Russians, especially those who have encountered or witnessed social injustices, find comfort in Islam's focus on equality. The idea that everyone will be held accountable for their actions in the afterlife is particularly compelling because it promises a form of ultimate justice that cannot be altered by power or wealth. This belief in divine justice brings emotional and mental relief to those who have struggled with inequality, oppression, or corruption in their societies. The teachings of Islam not only offer spiritual enlightenment, but also provide a guide for creating a just and ethical community. Another reason why Russians are drawn to Islam is its strong opposition to societal vices such as alcohol, gambling, and promiscuity. Many converts, particularly those who have battled addiction or seen the destructive effects of these behaviors in their communities, view Islam as a means to regain self-control and renewal. The prohibition of intoxicants is especially significant in Russia, where alcohol abuse has long been a major social issue. By accepting the faith, many new Muslims find the inner strength to overcome harmful habits and lead healthier, more balanced lives. The 5 daily prayers act as a constant reminder of their purpose, helping them stay focused and spiritually grounded. The concept of repentance and forgiveness in Islam also offers great comfort, as it enables individuals to leave behind their past errors and start afresh with sincerity and dedication. The influence of Islamic ethics on family life is another important factor in the rise of conversions. Islam places immense value on family, promoting respect for parents, responsibility towards children, and the sacred bond between husband and wife. In a world where traditional family structures are crumbling, many Russians turn to Islam as a means to restore stability and harmony in their personal lives. The faith encourages love, mutual respect, and patience within relationships, providing a foundation for strong and healthy families. Converts often speak about how Islam has helped them become better spouses, parents, and community members. The emphasis on modesty, humility, and selflessness nurtures an environment in which individuals place their loved ones above superficial desires. Another moral teaching of Islam that resonates with Russian converts is its firm stance on charity and social responsibility. The practice of zakat, or obligatory charity, reinforces the idea that wealth is a trust from God and must be shared with those in need. In a society where economic inequality is evident, this principle presents a solution that goes beyond just providing financial aid. It nurtures a sense of collective responsibility and compassion. The belief that every Muslim has an obligation to help the less fortunate instills a sense of purpose, motivating converts to make meaningful contributions to their communities. The Quran's message that true success lies not in material wealth but in good deeds changes their perspective on life, encouraging them to live with humility and generosity. Islam's influence on Russia's cultural and social landscape is becoming increasingly apparent as more people embrace the faith. Historically, Islam has had a presence in Russia for centuries, with Muslim communities existing long before the Soviet era. However, in recent years, there has been a noticeable resurgence, not just among ethnic Muslims, but also among ethnic Russians who are converting to Islam. This shift is reshaping the cultural makeup of the nation, leading to a more diverse and spiritually conscious society. As more people accept Islam, they bring with them a renewed appreciation for values such as discipline, humility, and a sense of purpose that extends beyond material success. The growing number of converts is not merely a religious phenomenon, but a cultural shift that is influencing art, literature, and public discourse in ways that were previously unimaginable. One significant change in Russia's cultural identity is the increasing visibility of Islamic traditions. From modest fashion gaining traction to the growing demand for halal food, the influence of Islam is expanding in many areas of daily life. In cities with large Muslim populations, new mosques and Islamic centers are being constructed, reflecting the rising interest in the faith. These spaces serve as community hubs where both converts and lifelong Muslims come together to learn, discuss, and deepen their understanding of their religion. They also provide venues for non-Muslims who are curious about Islam to engage in open dialogue and gain insights into the faith. This exchange fosters a more inclusive society where individuals from diverse backgrounds can coexist while maintaining mutual respect for one another's beliefs. Islam's emphasis on morality and discipline is also influencing social behavior. Many converts describe how their transition to Islam has led them to adopt a healthier lifestyle, focusing on personal growth and ethical living. Alcohol consumption, which has long been a significant social issue in Russia, is being challenged by those who have embraced Islamic teachings. More people are choosing to avoid harmful substances, prioritizing their physical and mental well-being. The practice of daily prayers provides structure and mindfulness, helping individuals stay grounded in the midst of modern life's chaos. This transformation is not only individual but also collective. As communities shaped by Islamic principles grow, they are becoming more focused on social harmony and self-improvement. The conversion of Russians to Islam is also impacting family dynamics by reinforcing the importance of strong, stable relationships. Islam places great emphasis on family values, advocating for mutual respect between spouses, the responsibility of parents towards their children, and the duty of children towards their parents. Converts often find themselves reconnecting with their families in meaningful ways, prioritizing love and understanding over past conflicts. This shift in priorities is giving rise to a new generation that values responsibility, patience, and sincerity in their relationships. The result is a social environment where families are built on solid ethical foundations, reducing the issues of neglect and instability that are common in modern societies. As more Russians embrace Islam, their views on justice and social responsibility are evolving. The Islamic concept of justice, which stresses fairness, honesty, and compassion, resonates with many who are disillusioned by corruption and inequality. The belief in ultimate accountability before God serves as a moral guide, steering individuals toward ethical decision-making in both personal and professional realms. This shift in awareness is influencing business practices, work ethics, and even political discourse. As more people advocate for policies aligned with fairness and social welfare, the ripple effects of these changes are gradually reshaping Russia's society, demonstrating that Islam is not merely a personal faith but a transformative force capable of impacting entire nations. The increasing number of Russian converts to Islam is also influencing Russia's geopolitical stance and its relationships with other Muslim-majority countries. As more Russians embrace Islam, the country's leadership is recognizing the growing Muslim demographic and its potential influence on domestic and foreign policies. Historically, Russia has had a complex relationship with the Muslim world, but the recent wave of conversions is fostering a new dynamic. This shift is apparent in the country's closer economic, political, and military ties with Islamic nations, particularly in the Middle East, Central Asia, and North Africa. By strengthening alliances with these regions, Russia is positioning itself as a significant global player, seeking opportunities for cooperation in trade, energy, and security. The growing Muslim population in Russia adds an internal incentive for the government to maintain good relations with Muslim-majority countries, ensuring that the interests of their Muslim population are aligned with the broader Islamic world. One of the most significant impacts of this religious shift is Russia's evolving diplomatic approach. In recent years, the country has sought to present itself as a defender of traditional values, often aligning with Islamic principles on social issues such as family morality and resistance to Western liberal ideologies. President Vladimir Putin has recognized the potential of the Muslim population as a stabilizing force in the country, using it as a bridge to strengthen relations with nations like Turkey, Iran, Saudi Arabia, and Indonesia. By acknowledging and supporting the Islamic identity of a growing segment of its population, Russia is not only addressing internal social cohesion, but also leveraging this demographic shift to expand its global influence. This strategy enables Russia to act as a mediator in conflicts involving Muslim-majority regions, gaining credibility as a nation that respects and understands Islamic values. Russia's military and economic policies are also being shaped by this religious transformation. The country has deepened its cooperation with several Islamic nations on matters such as arms trade, energy deals, and counterterrorism efforts. Moscow has positioned itself as a reliable ally for countries seeking an alternative to Western influence, offering military support and strategic partnerships to nations with shared geopolitical interests. This shift has led to an increase in trade agreements, investments, and joint ventures between Russia and Muslim-majority nations, benefiting both sides economically. The rise of Islam in Russia is creating a mutually beneficial relationship, strengthening the country's economy while providing strategic support to its Muslim allies on the global stage. The growing presence of Islam in Russia is also transforming the nation's cultural landscape. As more Russians convert, Islamic traditions and celebrations are becoming more integrated into mainstream society. Public recognition of Islamic holidays, greater acceptance of halal food markets, and the incorporation of Islamic values into public discourse are gradually altering the perception of Islam within Russia. This cultural integration is contributing to a more diverse and multifaceted Russian identity, where Islam is no longer seen as a minority faith but as an essential part of the nation's social fabric. The increasing Muslim population is influencing media, education, and public policies, leading to more representation of Islamic perspectives in national debates and discussions. With Islam's growth in Russia, the country is undergoing an ideological shift that extends beyond religious beliefs. More people are finding meaning and purpose in the discipline and spirituality Islam provides, which is transforming their worldviews. This shift is making Russian society more introspective, prompting conversations about morality, ethics, and the role of religion in contemporary life. As more individuals embrace Islam, their voices are contributing to a broader dialogue on faith, governance, and societal values. The rise of Islam in Russia is not just a religious development, it is a powerful force that is shaping the nation's future, redefining its identity, and altering its position in the global order. This transformation is more than a religious trend, it is a change in values, diplomacy, and cultural identity that cannot be ignored. The connection between Russia and the Muslim world is growing stronger, and with it, a new chapter in history is unfolding. This shift challenges misconceptions, builds bridges, and redefines what it means to be Russian in today's world. This is not just about